nimbus around him.
Okay.
Then this guy, you see, like, sort of following up after him, the guy who is guarding him, climbs up the ladder, and he pulls his revolver out and shoots you, Robin.
God damn it.
Okay, he misses you and hits Tara.
Yay!
And does 5 damage, AP1.
Well, AP1, that's enough to shake me.
Okay, so the bullet just sort of like flies over Robin's head and like grazes your leg.
All right, back.
But yeah, it doesn't hurt you too much. That brings it to your turn, Tara, and Mr. Dibbs, you are now awake because there's a gunshot on deck.
Oh, what the?
Also, I shook him.
Oh yeah, also lightning.
What the fucking?
Although the bolt is not quite as loud as the.
Well, no, but like I went and shook him or slapped his leg or something.
Oh right, you slapped his leg. Okay, I forgot about that.
I forgot too.
Get up, you
All
lazy
right,
wolf.
so somebody slaps your leg, and then there's like, and boom, and it's Tara's turn.
Alright, so I did recover.
shaking?
Thank goodness. Does he look... I mean, like, this little sprite thingy looks very shadowy and freaky, but does he just look like a human right now?
Yeah, he's pretty much just a human in like dark clothing.
Okay, then I'm going to... I guess I'll just step up here. I'll draw my rapier in case this guy has funny ideas. Although he has a gun, so whatever.
He also has like a melee weapon of some sort,
Okay.
knife or something.
Well, I guess I won't step onto the... Yeah, no, I'll step up onto the cannon. That's cool. I'll jump up on the cannon. And then, is he like underwater, or is he just? Like...
Yeah, he's probably about a good like 20 feet underwater.
20 feet underwater.
Yep. 37
That far?
athletics roll.
Yeah, man, he got down there.
Okay, well, that's okay. I'm gonna use the water to hit the shit out of him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna hit him with the biggest water bolt I can. Can I just like use the water to punch him?
Sure.
So I will do a 3d6 bolt. I don't want to kill him, but it's kind of probably gonna happen anyways. Can you try to do non-lethal with a water bolt?
I would say for +1 power point, you could make it non-lethal.
Okay, I will do that. I will make it a 3d6 bolt for a 4-point power point thing. I will burn a bone talisman, a major, to negate that. And you know what? Blood cast. Let's do it.
Oh boy.
So this is at +4. Do I need the fucking bone talisman? No, I'll save the bone talisman if I'm blood casting. So this is at a +2 then. Okay, the regular success.
Alright. Roll damage.
Okay. 9 plus 5 is 14 plus 2 for 16.
Okay. You see him, like, where he's swimming, you just, like, punch your hand out, and there's, like, a ripple that goes through the water and hits him in the back, and he stops, like, swimming further and just kind of, like, hangs limply in the water.
And then I'm going to swan dive in after him.
Alright. Give me an athletics roll for swimming down to him for the lulls.
Hey, I got a 7. Not
Okay.
bad.
Not as good as his jump, but
Oh, can I like use water manipulation to like catch me?
sure. You just like sort of yeah, like
Well,
so you can get down there
there's
easier.
no mechanical effect, but the water like parts for me and like embraces me.
Right, yeah. So you can like jet down there faster. All right, yeah. So I would say also you get down to where he is, like get a hand on his shoulder. And you'll be able to get up without too much problem. He is unconscious.
Okay.
All right, so that brings it to
Good thing he was
Mr. Dibs.
glowing. I probably wouldn't have been able to see shit.
Yeah, yeah. If he wasn't glowing, he probably wouldn't have been able to even see him. How far down he went.
I just get up, grab a gun and a sword, and run up on deck.
All right. Yeah, both of the hatches are open right now.
All right.
So, actually, you can see like Robin's legs on the upper half of this one.
Okay. Oh, okay. There's the hatch. I see.
So the other one would probably be easier to climb up.
Yep. All right. So I run over there. What's all this then?
I'll point at the one dude and be like, he shot at me.
The guy standing right next to you, who like sort of turns around, towards you
All right.
as you climb up behind him.
Okay, then.
He's got a smoking gun in his hand.
Does he?
Yep.
Oh, that rotten bastard. All right. I knock the gun out of his hand and I guess pistol whip him.
Okay. So make a.
So scimitar to disarm, and then
Alright.
pistol whip in the head.
So it's a
I think it's a
pulse
-4,
shot to the hand.
which is now a -4, I believe, unless it's a shooting only -4. You know what I mean? Like if you're
I
shooting
would
the
say-
hand, it's -4. I know that, but I don't know if like disarming still is a -4 for a.
I always forget how the disarming thing
So-
works. Just roll at -2 for this.
Target rolls strength -2 if hit in the arm, or strength -4 if hit in the hand.
Oh, okay, that is. So you can try and go for the hand or go for the.
Yeah, I'll go for the hand or the gun.
Okay.
Whichever, yeah, the item.
All right, so that'll be -4.
Okay, that's all right. I'll still try it. Come on, be amazing. 7. Not that amazing, but sorry, -4. So 3.
Not quite enough.
No. Well, why not? Let's have some fun. I'll give you this and try again.
All right,
All right, a 9 -4, so 5.
that is enough.
All right.
So, you're not trying to do damage, right?
No, just smack
He's
the
just
gun
gonna
out of his
I mean,
hand.
he's not gonna make this roll. Yeah, you got a 0.
All right.
So yeah, you just like whack, like hit the tip of the gun with your tip of your sword and just like send it skittering across the deck, and then pistol whip. You roll fighting at -1.
Okay.
+1 because now he's unarmed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that cancels. All right, I blew up the 6 for another 6 for a 4. So 16 -1, 15.
Okay, yeah, that definitely hits. That's 2 with 2 raises.
All right, so a D8 and a D4, I'm assuming, or an
Yep.
extra D8, and then my strength, and then the pistol a D4.
Correct. Your
Alright.
strength plus a D4.
Yeah.
And then
And then the
the raise damage.
All right, so 13.
Yep, he's down for the count.
Perfect. That's exactly how
Just
I wanted that to go.
Whack, and he drops.
All right, does that suffice? Is that all the ruffians?
Everybody else looks pretty surprised,
Shrug. Sorry, I know.
and then
I
Tara
got-
resurfaces
I got woken out of a sleep to come up here and bash someone.
with your unconscious prisoner. A couple seconds later.
Ugh.
Please help.
Yep. I'm putting sheath everything and holster, and then help grab this corpse, not corpse, but unconscious, dead weight.
Mm-hmm. All right, he's back in your custody.
In case when he wakes up, maybe I'm assuming that what's his name put him under a spell or something. I don't know. So are we in harbor?
Why don't Tara? You're like coming into harbor, so you're pretty close to the land. Like as this whole thing happened, you guys are sort of like coming into the the harbor of Ketris.
He'd have better been under a spell, otherwise he's never going to make port.
I want both Mr. Dibbs and Tara to give me notice rolls, no penalties.
Ooh. Yeah, look at that. I got a 9.
I got a 5.
Okay, so you both notice. And Tara, you notice when you sort of like get up over the deck and like put your unconscious guy down on the deck, and Mr. Dibbs, you notice when you kind of walk over. Javan here does not have a shadow. Like the early morning's sun, like cresting over the waves, he just doesn't cast a shadow.
Fire.
Our buddy here, or our crew member.
He's unconscious. I'm talking about this guy.
Oh,
He
the
doesn't
other
have a
guy.
shadow. Yep.
Okay. Wait, was there something about those one monsters about I mean, they were called shadows.
They were
right?
called shadows. Yeah.
Was there something about those dudes that they mess with shadows? Hang on. let me pull up the bestiary.
Is your soul a shadow, and his soul has been eaten by the soul eater?
We know a lot about shadows, right?
You know about the shadowborn creature, the shadow. I think you guys all made that roll, actually.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
So you know that they're capable of possessing hosts.
But there's nothing about them like not or removing someone's shadow.
No, not as far as you know. You do know one of the tells for someone being possessed by a shadow is that their shadow does like aberrant things sometimes. But you've never heard of anything as extreme as just no shadow at all.
So does our unconscious... I'll saunter over. Does our unconscious friend, if we pick him up, does he have an aberrant shadow?
You kind of like lift him up off the deck and examine, and with your direct scrutiny, you see like when you pick him up, his like the shadow of his head like turns to look at you almost. Like you can see his head turning a little bit.
Damn, tie him up.
So yep, does look like he's being possessed by a shadow.
Well, time to go find a priest.
Time to exercise. Send him to the gym.
Lots of push-ups.
All right, so at this point, a lot of your other crew are coming back up onto deck, and Doomy kind of like moves up and says, what's happened? An escape attempt?
Yeah, we're dealing with some shadowy figures.
Nice. Some shady individuals.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, maybe we bring them to Dio right away.
Yeah. What is wrong with our crewman there? He tried to attack Robin.
I'll look at Thara.
Caleb's upstairs right now.
Oh.
He can hear us.
He almost shot me.
Oh yeah. He was closer to hitting Tara. I kind of forgot about that.
Okay, with Tara.
Well, if his mind is his own, I don't know. That's difficult. We don't know if he was like possessed or anything, or he's the one with the missing shadow.
No. No, the dude with the missing shadow is the guy that we captured in. Alright.
Okay.
And then the dude that shot at us and then that Mr. Gibbs knocked unconscious is, we've confirmed, is being possessed by a shadow.
Okay. So the crew member is probably possessed, and the cultist guy, the
Kasunga? Kasungi.
Kasungi,
Kasungi.
the Kasungi cultist.
You can also say the Hungering Void.
The Hungering Void cultist guy. He's
That's
the one
easier.
missing the shadow.
Correct.
Got it.
Mhm.
Okay, I got it. Know all this shit now.
We've got it. By the
But now
end.
Jimmy wants to know what's wrong with the member. That
Right. Okay. He's probably possessed or something. I can't imagine that this random guy would have been able to persuade him to let him go and try to kill everyone on board.
Seems unlikely. Well, we're almost into port. I imagine that you'll be dealing with this problem, Captain.
Yes, we'll deal with this.
Very well. I will make sure the docking and the crew is goes how you wish.
Fantastic.
Will we be staying in port for long?
Probably no more than a week.
Very well.
I'll ask Doomy if he has time to offload that ore too.
I will make that my priority as soon as we are done.
Thanks, Dooms.
Doom doom. Doom 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 doom.
Alright.
Get these cards back in here. Alright,
I will be right back. Unless
that's fine. We'll catch this map.
Can we... Our crew member is still unconscious, right? Or they're both unconscious?
Yeah, they're both unconscious at the moment.
Should probably tie them both up.
Alright. Sounds good. Okay, so as you guys go into dock, it takes another half hour or so as you move in. You'll have a docking fee of 20 marks as you come on. So someone wants to deduct that, but after
Can deduct
that point, where are you guys going to go first?
You said 25 marks?
20 marks.
20 marks, okay. Well, I know we said we would bring this guy into Dio, but I'm worried that we can't really bring him in without bringing in our crew member as well. Right? And I don't want to start handing over our crew members to Dio just because they happen to be on guard. Okay, fantastic.
No input?
Everyone's in agreement.
Sorry, I'm dying. I'm dying over here.
I just I think if we bring this cultist to Dio and say, oh, and his shadow is missing, probably is possessing our crewmate. He'll be like, well, where's the crewmate? But I don't think we can should or can even hand over our crewmates to Dio.
No, I don't think we should make that a habit, because then, you know...
I think Dio might be the best to help, though. Unless we go to Minji first. Minji's the only other one.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I trust Dio to do the right thing. And maybe Midge might have a better idea anyways. I feel like we have a bit of a rapport with her.
Now, that being said, I don't know if Midge will appreciate us kidnapping another Karite and giving it to Dio.
Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how she feels about this Kasungi. Ha! Nailed it.
Kasungi.
I mean, I don't... Can I make an occult roll to know if that it's his shadow that's possessing this?
Sure. Occult roll at minus... -4.
Alright. Oh. I got a 7, but I got a 1 on the...
Okay. That's fine for this roll. So you have actually heard of something similar to this as you guys sort of like talk about and you think about it a little bit more on deck. The fact that his shadow is missing and that there's like a shadow, and there seems to be a lot of shadows around. Like you guys killed 3 shadows in the barrow, and I mean it is kind of unusual to encounter so many of a supernatural creature like that. And they seemed a little bit weaker than what you would expect. And that in conjunction with probably when you were researching your Paxorn patrons and stuff, you heard about a Karite sort of ritual called shadow binding, which is a thing, a sort of gift that can be given by certain patrons to a method to use your own shadow to summon a shadow as the supernatural entity. And you basically just like take your own shadow off and give it agency under your command into the world.
That's neat. That's got to be something like I know I've seen that practice somewhere. Sounds very awesome and familiar.
It sounds like something that would be in an anime.
Yeah.
All right. So we gotta get his shadow out.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much as much you know about that, but like that would explain where the shadow came from. He had some method of summoning it based off of his occult practices. I'd say you do know that like there are ways that you can like exercise a shadow by setting up a pentagram of chalk. Silver infused chalk is generally better. Though I doubt that either of you know the like precise ritual, just because of how the manner of magician that you are.
Right. Do I know if so? Like Karites. First off, there's 2 different like bands of Karites, right? Like there's the dark and the light, or something.
Yeah, there's the Kerjahat and the Kersara.
and why? Like they're kind of not very first. Do I know how some carrot is it possible for a carrot to have ill feeling to another carrot's patron, or are they kind of revered?
Oh, definitely. There's rivalries through and through,
Okay.
in between tribes or clans and all that.
So
It's just that they hate the Arnaki more.
right.
So they're
maybe
usually
they might be
oftentimes they're willing to set that aside.
super upset about if we ask her to purge this guy from it or shadow. This dude doesn't have.
What'd you say?
So this crew member doesn't happen to be Arnaki.
He's Drassian, yeah,
Okay.
like most of your crew.
Yeah, I suggest there's a way to do it, and we need chalk with silver, but I don't know how to do it. Maybe bring him to Old Mitch.
Or maybe, I mean, we could bring him to Dio and just say, well, no, you can't have him. If he asks. I mean,
Yeah.
we can say no.
Yeah. Yeah, he might have some insight. He doesn't seem like a twisted kind of person.
No, I don't think he would really care. If anything, he might be like, well, maybe I can help and I'll capture the demon or the Shadowborn.
Right.
Which is not great either, but whatever, that's his deal.
Yeah, I say we bring the two of them and then the eye. Well, maybe we want to leave the eye thing as he wants the eye thing before we bring it to his secret lair.
I don't know, I don't...
His coffee shop.
Yeah. All right. I'll cover it with that heavy cloak I had, and then.
We're talking about the little black orb, right?
The Eye of Kasungi.
Are we gonna keep the drugs, or are we gonna give him the drugs?
I mean, he doesn't need the actual drugs himself. I think I'd rather keep it.
Yeah.
When you had the drugs before, he was like, I mean, you can keep them; they're yours, but I will buy them from you.
Yeah. Right. And that was more like a mass.
Yeah, that was a lot of them.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with keeping them.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna bring the Karite and your possessed crew guy. Are you gonna bring the corpse?
Oh yeah, we should probably get a wagon.
And also, how are you going to transport 3 unconscious or dead bodies down the street?
I'll go find a wagon.
Go find a wagon. Okay. Sure. We'll just say like
get a rental.
3 marks. 3 marks to rent a little scrimshaw from the fish market.
All right.
That's highway robbery. No, that's fine.
If you only want it for an hour, it'll be 1 mark, I guess.
That brings me 3 marks brings me to a nice round.
All right.
Nice round 420.
You have a scrimshaw for 24 hours then.
All right.
Let's rent another one and have races.
Okay, so you go buy or rent a scrimshaw and load up your unconscious and dead bodies into that, and I assume cover them with like a sail or something.
Yeah.
All right. So you with that you bring that down to the Grinning Jester. Stepping inside, it's still pretty early in the morning.
I'll probably stay out with the wagon.
Okay. So you guys step inside. There is nobody inside except for the Bertrand, the male servant of Dio's, and he kind of like looks over at you and says, "Welcome to the Grinning Jester. How may I help you?"
We're here to see Dio.
I'll peek my head and say, "Order me a coffee."
Oh, could I get 2? Mr. Gibbs, do you want something?
Yes.
Oh, something I actually want to mention. I forgot. As you guys head up, before you go into the the place, you notice that several of the front windows are like shattered and broken open.
Maybe I won't get a coffee then. That's-
That'd be classic. I'm sorry, Mr. Did you say ale?
Yeah, just a regular. Yeah.
2 coffees, an ale, and a drink of rum, please.
You see him kind of like hesitate and sort of look over toward the door to the back, and then back to you, and then like quickly like put the drinks out and wordlessly fill them up, and then he walks. As soon as he does that, he just like walks into the back and leave you guys alone up there.
Okay.
Um,
Can I? Did he look nervous, or why is he looking back?
no, he
Okay.
seemed to be like hesitant for a second.
Okay.
A couple minutes later, he returns, and Dio is with him. Dio kind of like immediately looks out towards the to the front of the building and says, "Well, you're back, and you seem to have brought me some items."
People.
People, even better.
We have a habit of doing that.
What manner of people? Will they be requiring confinement? Or
At least 1, maybe 2.
very well. If you bring them in. Actually, no. He doesn't ask you to do it. He just kind of looks over to Bertrand and says, "Bring them in, if you will." And you actually, like, as he moves aside, you see that his other servant, Adeline, is standing behind him, and he gestures for you guys to follow him as the two servants bring the 3 bodies inside through the door and into the back. Probably you go down into the basement instead of his office this time. Which Mr. Dibbs, you came down here before when you were
talking
you
about
talked about
the other captain.
disposal of Captain McLagan. So instead of going to that room, he opens up a door to another one, which he sort of like unlocks it, and it is a similar room, a little bit less decorated. It looks to be sort of a fairly nice holding cell. Like there's a couch and a little sort of like cot type thing, and a table, and he says, "All right, well, we can put the ones that need to be in confinement in here, and I would be interested to hear about your adventure and how you managed to acquire such things." And he kind of looks over at the corpse and says, "Oh, that's quite interesting. I will have to examine. Actually, make a roll. Okay." He says, "I will have to examine this body at a later date. Adeline, will you please bring it to the back?" And she takes the body off of the monster. So tell me, how have you come to bring 3 bodies to my front door this morning? And
Okay.
I assume you guys regale him of the tale.
Sure.
Yep. Whole tail.
Are you not gonna leave anything out?
Not that I can think of.
I don't think so. Nope.
Also, did you bring the letter and the stamp for him to look at?
Yeah, the weird nonsense letter and the stamp. Yeah.
Okay. As you guys are.
When those are relevant to the story, I will pull them out.
Same thing with the black orb.
Yep.
I won't uncover it, but I'll.
All right. So he leads you into the sort of like underground parlor area that you went to before, Mr. Dibbs, and you guys all sit down and discuss the various things. When you get to the part with the black orb, he sort of looks at it and then moves over to like a drawer off to the side of the room and produces this like metal box, which he asks you to place the orb into.
Okay.
And at the end of the story says, well, that's you you've made many interesting discoveries. I do believe I have a pretty good idea of who is doing this now. But it is quite curious. Funding Karaite cults is not their normal modus operandi.
I know maybe it's not necessary for us to know, but do you mind sharing who?
I will get to that in a moment. There is the more immediate matter of your crew member is possessed by this man's shadow.
That is.
You say it like that, it sounds crazy.
That's what the Robin believes. Yes, we think that's true.
Do you tell him about the Shadowbinder thing, Robin?
Is that something that like would be super out of line culturally for me to do?
It's not the kind of information that you would normally share with non-Karaites.
Alright, I probably won't.
Okay. So he says, that is very interesting. Well, it should, in theory, be able to be exercised in a similar manner to another possessing entity. I can provide such a service for you if you would like. And the disposal of the shadow.
If you can do that, I think we are interested, certainly.
Ideally without harming our crew member.
Oh, certainly. It should not harm them at all. We can do that right now. I assume that you want him back on your ship in working order as soon as possible.
That's right.
I think the best. He's got some money to spend in port.
So he kind of like moves aside some of the furniture and like rolls back the carpet to the floor and has one of his servants retrieve a case of chalk, which he starts drawing out a circle around the ground.
Do I notice if there's silver in that chalk?
It does have a certain sparkle to it. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, does he have an aura?
Nope.
Is he? He's gonna. Okay.
Yeah. So he starts drawing the pentagram. Okay. And instructs you to place the crew member in the middle of it. It takes probably about an hour a little bit more than that with the talking, and then as he does this, and once he finishes drawing out the pentagram, which is like the circle and various like magical symbols on the outside, if you would like, you can make an occult roll to try and remember it, or you could copy it down in like
I want
or
to
something.
attempt to help / like observe what he's doing.
Yeah.
Sure. You could give me both occult rolls. Anyone who would like to help.
Oh yes, wild die, go! I got an 11.
Okay.
I got 7.
7. All right. So a total of plus 3. All right. So the with that, if you want to like copy the ritual design down onto a piece of paper or something, you can do that. It's just as he does it. He explains this is a fairly standard exorcism ritual. It is not one that requires magic to perform.
Are there a lot of these rituals that are magic?
No, they are somewhat rare. This one is fairly basic. That is the reason. And it does require some extra materials if you do not have a magician on hand.
Can I like focus in on him and be like, "Are you sure you're not a magic user?"
Give me a notice roll.
Right.
No penalties.
No penalties.
Yep.
I got a 5.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see an aura on him.
All right. Oh.
I'm gonna ask. So, do you need?
You do notice, however, that he has a couple of items on his person that have a faint magic aura.
Okay.
I will. For this, I intend to capture this shadow, and I have an item to do that. And he reaches into the box that Adeline brought and pulls out a like carving made out of obsidian. It's like this sort of no. He has a I was thinking of a different thing. It's just like this iron flask that has silver runes inlaid across it, and he puts that at like one corner of the pentagram.
Shadow in a bottle.
Yep. And as you guys finish the circle, and let's see. Oh, well, you know what? Actually, yeah, I remembered what the onyx thing's for. Yeah, so you get once you finish the circle, Dio kind of like looks over to you guys and says, "No, there is a spark of magic that is required to activate the ritual. Normally, you can do so by crumbling gem dust or a similar, burning an arcane focus, effectively. But a magician can do it simply with their magical ability. If either of you two would indulge me."
Sure.
Sneeze. Sneeze on the circle.
Yeah, you just sort of like instill it with the slight like touch of otherness, and just to sort of like get the magic flowing through the runes. And as you do so, the man who's sitting or like laying down in the middle of the circle kind of like tips up in the very like exorcist sort of way, where his like it looks like he's being sort of like dragged up by an invisible force, and his neck sort of like twitches and cricks to the side as his this like billow of black smoke sort of like rushes out of his mouth, and you see it sort of like try and form into a coherent shape, but as it does, it's like a strong breeze is sort of like sweeping it away, and it gets like sucked back into the iron flask. And as it's fully inside, the flask snaps shut and kind of like rocks there a little bit. And Dio kind of like wipes his palms and picks up the flask and says, "Very well. Your man should be fine now."
Will you require us to repay the material cost of the chalk?
He kind of waves his hand and says, "No matter. I have this," and he shakes this is payment enough.
Alright. I'm sorry, I know it's a bit off topic, but you put that I have Kasungi into some sort of box. Is it
Indeed.
a special box?
I have many objects that